Adam Wharton's name keeps appearing in relation to Manchester United's midfield targets. He's one of the first names mentioned when people speak about the next best young midfielder in the Premier League, and it's kind of easy to see why. He's elegant on the ball, rarely wastes a pass, has a composure that makes everything look a bit effortless, and at just 21, he's already established himself as Crystal Palace's orchestrator. But here's the question that matters. Is he ready to make that step up and continue to improve? Has Glasner's system provided him with the perfect platform? And is he the right choice for Manchester United? Let's talk about Adam Wharton. Right, truth be told, Wharton was my dream target come the start of this summer transfer window that's just gone. Has that opinion changed, and will it change by the time the next summer transfer window comes around? Maybe. Elliot Anderson has certainly come into contention. Carlos Baleba's had a mixed season so far. Now let's talk about Wharton, his strengths, any concerns there might be, and let's take a look at how his season has gone so far. Palace started the season with silverware, of course. They beat the Scousers in the Community Shield. Wharton played 85 minutes and produced exactly the kind of moment that gets people excited. On a 77-minute mark, he produced the moment that mattered, a perfectly weighted through ball, slipped into the path of Sarr. He finished to level the match. Palace won on penalties. It wasn't just the assist that caught the eye. 3 key recoveries. He was dribbled past only once in 85 minutes. He was right in the middle of the midfield battle, dictating play when Palace had the ball and snuffing out danger when they didn't. It was the perfect start to the season. They won the FA Cup, they come back, they win the Community Shield. Crystal Palace under Glasner was certainly on a high, and Wharton was a big part of that. As for match day 1 in the Prem, it was Chelsea away. A 0-0 draw, but an important test against one of the league's strongest midfield pairings in Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Wharton created one big chance, 2 key passes, and he completed 76% of his passes, 8 of them into the final third. The reality check might have come defensively in that game. He didn't complete a tackle. He was dribbled past 4 times and lost possession 9 times. There were moments of quality in possession though. One moment stood out when Wharton kept the ball under the pressure, linked up with a quick 1-2, spun away from his marker and threaded a perfect through ball to Mateta, who almost scored. Every time Palace regained possession, he came alive. He was the spark that turned defence into attack. And maybe that's a little bit of a pattern that you'll see emerging when we look at the rest of the season, because Wharton is instrumental to Crystal Palace's attack. When they go forward, he's the spark that connects the team together. But maybe defensively, there is a little bit more to develop in that game. Against Forest at home, it was a 1-1 draw, and Wharton's influence was felt more in the build-up than in standout moments. 8 minutes before half-time, he recycled possession to Munoz, and in stoppage time, his corner picked up Gahey, whose header hit the post. 80% pass accuracy, 8 passes into the final third, only 51 touches, with 9 defensive contributions. A solid, if unspectacular, performance. Villa at home. Palace won 3-0, but Wharton's afternoon was cut short. He was subbed just before the hour mark with a muscle injury, with the score still at 1-0. He'd shown strong moments before that injury, and particularly his awareness in breaking up Villa's counters, but struggled to get truly involved in the game before being forced off. That injury kept him out of the next match against Sunderland entirely. Now I know, rightly, lots of you will be concerned about Wharton's injury record at Palace and maybe injuries this season. Is he an injury-prone player? Is probably going to be something that quite a few of you are asking when it comes to United spending big on a midfielder that we need to depend on for pretty much the entire season. But let's see how he came back from his injury. West Ham at home. Palace 1-2-1. Wharton returned and played 75 minutes. His influence was felt throughout the moments rather than domination. An excellent corner that found Lacroix, whose header crashed off the bar just before the 70-minute mark, whipped a ball forward that caused chaos, and Tyreek Mitchell smashed home the winner. 3 chances created, 100% accuracy on long balls and crosses, but only 39 touches, not as involved. The Guardian noted his influence in midfield, though, and delivery from wide areas as key factors in keeping Palace's unbeaten run alive. So I would say up until this point in this season, Wharton's had good moments, games that may have passed him by, the injury, but then the big test came. Against Liverpool. It was the performance that really showcased Wharton's attacking quality. Palace lined up in a 3-4-2-1, Wharton alongside the more attacking Kamada. From the opening moments, he was very influential. Early on, he played a brilliant through ball that Kanate misjudged. Mateta nearly scored, but Addison made a great save. And then came the moment of individual brilliance. Down the left flank, Wharton burst past Szoboszlai with one touch like it wasn't there. Skipped past 2 more Liverpool defenders and delivered an excellent cross that Sarr narrowly missed. Minutes later, he beat Szoboszlai again on the edge of the box and nearly assisted Mateta. He could have had 3 or 4 assists in this game, and the numbers backed up his performance. 4 chances created, 3 out of 3 successful dribbles. But defensively, questions did remain. 33% of his aerial duels won, only 1 tackle and 1 clearance. He was subbed just after the hour mark, and Palace won 2-1. And in that Liverpool game, you saw the Wharton, like, I suppose, the Community Shield before the season started. That Wharton that gets people excited. He's somebody who is a creator, a progressor, somebody who can turn a half a chance into a golden chance. He's got the vision and the creativity to make the most of those situations. And I think that's why a lot of United fans look at him, well, I did, and felt that he could be a massive connector in a team that for a long time has felt disconnected when building up. Now let's continue looking through his season. Everton away, Palace lost 2-1, and it was Wharton's first full 90 minutes of the season. Started brightly, 2 minutes in, a dangerous corner resulted in a shot on target. The ball spilled back to him near the corner flag, swung it in, blocked by the first man, but it led to another chance from the edge of the box. At 27 minutes, a first-time pass to Sarr nearly set up Mateta. And at 57 minutes, he called for the ball from Richards, ran onto it, and within 3 touches, played Sarr into a great position. Should have been a goal. But after 70 minutes, his impact faded. For Everton's winning goal, Wharton seemed a little bit too passive. He let his man Beto get the header that led to the rebound for the goal. He picked up a yellow card, made 3 tackles, won 75% of his ground duels, but didn't attempt an aerial duel. 86% passes from 64 touches. His technical ability was there, but the physical side, again, a little bit exposed.
I think Adam Wharton today, I can see the man of the match award there. I think that's coming to me, but I think it should have gone to Adam Wharton because, in my opinion, he was the best player on the pitch today.
And if that Everton game highlighted some weaknesses, the next couple of games certainly didn't do Wharton any favours. Bournemouth at home, 3-3. Another full 90 minutes, and this time the struggles were a little bit more pronounced. Bournemouth's second goal exposed a worrying trend. Richards got caught one-on-one with Semenyo. Wharton was the closest man, but lacked the urgency to get back. Semenyo had a fairly simple cross for Bournemouth's second. He showed some good defensive work at times, but wasn't involved in any of Palace's 3 goals. 72% pass accuracy, 25% on long balls, and won just 38% of his ground duels. Bournemouth's pace and power caused problems all afternoon, and once again, 0 aerial duels attempted by Wharton. As for Arsenal away, Palace lost 1-0. He was subbed off at the 90-minute mark. 73% pass accuracy, completed 57% of his long balls. Palace relied heavily on him to stretch the pitch with those diagonal passes, but it was a defensive moment that made headlines. Arsenal's goal, of course, gave him a set piece.
I am shocked! Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
A free kick from Rice. Wharton was marking Eze on the edge of the box. In the final moment, he lost him and Eze scored. On Match of the Day 2, Theo Walcott was critical. He said Adam Wharton's one big weakness was highlighted during Crystal Palace's defeat to Arsenal. Arsenal once again took advantage of a set-piece situation to score, and Wharton lost Eze on the edge of the box, which ultimately led to the goal. It's a problem that's appeared a few times. Set-piece defending, aerial duels, and physical battles. And I think at this point, what it's important to take a look at is not only Wharton's performances, but also Crystal Palace's system and how Wharton fits in it. I really do think it's crucial for understanding Wharton to look at Palace's system this season. They have the second lowest possession in the league, the third lowest average distance from their own goal for defensive actions, the second most tackles in their own defensive third, the 6th lowest tackles in the attacking third. Now, what does it tell us? Palace are a counter-attacking side who sit in a mid to low block. Look at his heat map for this season. Wharton does his work much deeper and is asked to cover significantly less space defensively than a midfielder playing in a 2-man pivot in a possession-dominant system. Well, that's the intention under Ruben Amorim, even if United aren't there yet. When Palace recover the ball, he's excellent. A technician who can play killer balls to cut teams open on transition. But we haven't seen him in a ball-dominant team that holds possession and has to methodically break down defensive blocks week after week. And we haven't seen him have to defend large open spaces that this can leave. There's also the question of his defensive work rate. Wharton has built a reputation for never needing to sprint because of how ahead of the game he is. People say it as a compliment that he's so composed, but how much of that is genuinely elite anticipation? And how much is it down to Palace and the system? At United and Amorim's system, midfielders are asked to cover ground, to defend transitions in open space, to win duels in a middle third, not just a defensive third. Now, Wharton's technical quality is undeniable, but is he the complete midfielder? And I think what we've seen so far from Wharton is all the good stuff and the stuff that caught my eye. I see Wharton as, I'm not saying he's the next Michael Carrick, but the reason I say Carrick's name is because I see Wharton as somebody who can recycle possession and can help bring the team forward through possession, not just firing it 30, 40 yards. They're very different midfielders, Wharton and Anderson and Baleba. They're all available in the Premier League. United will probably sign one of them. And this is the third in the series that we've done. We've taken a look at Baleba, we've taken a look at Anderson, and now we've taken a look at Wharton. We're going to be taking a look at maybe Angelo Stiller as well. Are there any other midfielders you'd like us to look at? I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do drop a like on it. We're going to continue this series all season long. And this one's probably the most interesting one for sure. What midfielder will we sign? If Wharton was my dream going into the season, as it stands, I'd probably say Elliot Anderson has nudged ahead.